Yo, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you. Another roundtable on this Wednesday hump day, and I am so excited, as I know you guys are, because today is the official release of the Seahawks 2021, the NFL 2021 official regular season schedule. Yes, we are going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to go game by game, week by week, and put in our own takes as to what we think is going to happen in the 2021 season. In this 17-game season, it's going to be off the hook. Sorry for the late start. I was stuck with a work meeting thing, and some long-winded people wouldn't get off the Zoom call, so finally I had to just jump off and get this thing going. So we're not going to waste any time because we got some deadlines we got to hit here, particularly Mr. Brian Abker has to be somewhere, and I want to make sure we get his takes on it. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it and get the roundtable introduced right here. So here they are. Let's make sure we can hear everybody. Yes, we can. All right. So we've got the roundtable minus Coach Marsh right up here. Unfortunately, he's under the weather. So we're going around the horn, starting up at the top. We've got Steezy, Smith, Calvin, Domingo. Welcome back to the roundtable, bro.
How's everybody doing? Happy to be on.
All right. And up in the middle on the right, we got Noah Boelter, also known as Squabo Says, all the way from the Palouse at Washington State University. What's up, man? You excited for this?
I'm excited because I just got some Team Steezy merch in the mail. Shout out Team Steezy. And just in time for him to reach 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So can we just give him a quick, a little round of applause or something? We can't get past Squabo.
Yeah. Good job.
Good stuff,
way to go, Steezy.
He's worked so hard.
Let's keep it rolling. All right. So, to the top right.
Thank you, my brother.
We've got, absolutely, man. And to the top right, we've got the aforementioned former sports radio host of KJR, Brian Abker. Mr. Abker, glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here. This is always a huge day around the NFL and around sports radio and around the sporting world. And I'm not exactly sure why, but the NFL has done one hell of a job of marketing themselves and making this a huge day.
It is. We've all been on pins and needles waiting to see what it is. The schedule looks hard. It looks challenging, but it looks really, really, really interesting at the same time. Now, we over here in the black, we've got Coach Bill Marsh. Unfortunately, he is not here in person because he is under the weather, but he is in the chat, so I'm going to hopefully get his takes on the game and his picks as we go through these round 1 week at a time. So we are joined also by a special guest here. We've got Rain all the way from the East Coast. Rain joining in on this roundtable. Rain, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Excited to be on, Norb. It's a pleasure. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and last but certainly not least, we've got Seahawks Martin from the Pacific Northwest. Seahawks Martin, excited for this?
Yeah, very excited, especially since I have no piano today, which means I get to be on here. This is great.
All right. So what I wanted to do this as a group where all 6 of us or 7 of us were going to go through each game week by week. But Brian Abker has a hot date at 6:30 to get out the door of. So I'm gonna get him on his takes first, so that way we can get his takes on there. This is how we're going to do this. I'm going to keep score here. I should say keep track of the records right there. So as we go through, I'm going to track everybody's basically win-loss record, starting with Mr. Abker, and then we'll go through with everybody else, and we'll just kind of see game by game, week by week, how it all plans out, and then we'll see what the end of season record looks like in 2021. Now, so I have to say, this is May, right? We haven't even seen these guys in training camp. We haven't seen in preseason. We haven't even done getting all the deals done. So this is the official, unofficial, very early, too early to really tell prediction video. So nothing's official until we really put our stamp on it. And in my case, until I do my music prediction video in early September, this doesn't really count. But we're just doing this for fun and see what happens, like all you guys are doing. Okay, so Mr. Abker, I'm going to take it to you first, just because I want to make sure that we get your takes in here. Are you ready to do this?
Sure, yeah, I absolutely am.
Okay, so Mr. Abker.
Do you want... Uh-oh, can't hear you now. Lost you. Don't know where the audio.
I'm there.
Oh, there
I
we
got
go.
you.
Okay.
I got you. Right.
So do you want me to give you my thoughts on the schedule and then go week by week, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, well, we got 10 minutes, so whatever it takes to make sure you can go through 17 weeks here. So how about 30 seconds of just the overall schedule, and we'll jump right into it.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the things, and we've kind of brought these up in the chat. Week 1 at the Colts, the last time we played at Indianapolis to open the season was 2013. Now, Andrew Luck beat us up pretty good, but we end up going to the Super Bowl that year. So that's a nice little omen right there. I like the fact that Week 9 is the bye week that kind of puts you right in the middle. You've had a chance to go through, get beat up a little bit, good time to heal and rest up, and the fact that it's coming off of back-to-back home games. Week 7 against the Saints, Week 8 against the Jaguars, then you got your bye. That's a nice 3 steady weeks. Those guys are at home and should be rested up for that road game going into Week 10 against the Packers. The one thing I noticed is that there's only 1 week the entire season that we play a division rival that we are not coming off a road game, and that is Week 18 against the Cardinals, where we play. So we do go on the road to play the Cardinals, but we have back-to-back home games, Week 16 against the Bears, Week 17 against the Lions. Everything else, every other time we play a rival game or a division game, the week before we were on the road. And then my final thought is Monday Night Football. The Washington football team is hosting a Monday Night Football game. Come on, are you kidding me? Well, why? Why did they get one? I'm glad we're part of it. But the Seahawks, it looks like they've got 5 primetime games. They're hosting 3 of them. I think probably week 16, 17, or 18 could be flexed into a primetime game. So I really like this schedule.
Yeah, and I got it on the screen there for you to check out. So again, Week 1 at the Colts, Week 2 home against the Titans, Week 3 at the Vikings, Week 4 at the Niners, back home Thursday Night Football against the Rams, again, and then back-to-back, triple back-to-back prime time, Sunday Night Football against the Steelers, Monday Night Football against the Saints, and then we've got the Jaguars here, we've got the bye at the Packers, here against the Cardinals, at Washington, Sunday Night Football against the 49ers, at the Texans, at the Rams, home against Chicago, home against the Lions, and then finally finishing the season at the Cardinals. So there we go. That is the schedule. Brian, are you ready to jump into it week by week?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, Week 1 at the Colts. Carson Wentz, new quarterback for him. He's got skills, but he's not going to be ready for the Hawks defense. That's a win for Seattle. Week 2 against the Titans, first home game. There's going to be, I believe, 12s in the stands. That place is going to be off the hook, even if it's only half the amount that we're normally allowed to have. That's a win for the Hawks. Week 3 at Minnesota. That's kind of an iffy situation right now. I don't think that Minnesota's all that great, but I think that there's a chance that coming off those first 2 weeks, the Hawks could suffer a loss. So right now I'm going to have that as a loss. Week 4, down in San Francisco. Look out. Seahawks fans are going to have heart attacks, but I'm calling a back-to-back loss right here. So that's 2. So they're 2-2 on the season. Week 5, Thursday Night Football at Lumen Field. That's a win for the Hawks against the Rams. They're going to go to Pittsburgh in Week 6. Last year, it was last year, right? That we played Pittsburgh. I thought they were going to lose that. Maybe it was the season before. I'm getting them jumbled right now. But I'm going to say they go into Pittsburgh and get the win, even though Pittsburgh's going to have this new running back that they're trying to compare to Walter Payton, which is just laughable to me, especially since the dude hasn't done a single thing in the NFL. But I understand what they're trying to say. They're going to win that game. Week 7, Monday Night Football at home against the Saints without Drew Brees. That's a win for the Hawks. Week 8, Jacksonville. Look, I like what Jacksonville's doing. I think they're going to be much improved. I think they're going to be competitive, but they're not going to be in the ballpark of the Seahawks, especially here in Seattle. That's a win. So Week 9, they go on the bye. Week 10, down in Green Bay, this is a huge question mark because we don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Is Aaron Rodgers going to say, you know what, I think I'm just going to kick it and not even play this season? Or are the Packers going to come to their senses and realize, dude, Aaron Rodgers is still one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL. We need him. We've been 2 seasons now back-to-back where we were almost in the Super Bowl. That's going to be a tough one. Seahawks haven't fared well at Lambeau. I'm going to call that a loss. That's 3 losses now that I've got for the Seahawks. Week 11 against the Cardinals in Seattle. That's a win for Seattle. Week 12, Monday Night Football in our nation's capital. Man, that is a tough one because I don't think the Washington football team's very good. I think the atmosphere might be a bit much. I think the travel might be a bit much. Ew, man. I still think the Seahawks are going to eke it out, but I think that's an overtime game right there. Back-to-back primetime games. Week 13, Sunday Night Football, 49ers. Hawks have got that. That's crushed. They got a win there. Week 14 at the Texans. That's a win for Seattle. Week 15 at the Rams. That's going to be their 4th loss of the season. That's going to be the tough one. That's going to be the one that there's quite a hiccup, and they're probably not going to look super great in that loss. Week 16 against the Bears at home, that's a win. Week 17 against the Lions at home, that's a win. Week 18 on the road against the Cardinals. That one's only the only reason they're going to lose is if they don't have to win, and they're probably still going to win that game. I'm putting that down as a win.
So, man, I was furiously typing to keep up with your record there. But I did it. And basically, as you can see on the screen, Brian Abker, after all that, oops, I got to do one more update. There we go. 13-4. 13-4 is the final record based on this official, unofficial, too early to really tell Seahawks prediction of 2021. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's a. Anytime you have only 4 losses in a season, that's pretty good. You were making me nervous, man, because early on you're having a few early losses that were like, what? Vikings, what? But I liked how it finished, though. That's
the thing that I want Seahawks fans to remember is if they bite the bullet a couple times and take some early losses, it's not going to be an indicator on how the season's going to go. It's just timing and matchups and everything else. But again, we're going to relook at this once the Hawks come out of camp and we start rolling into the preseason games. We'll be able to make some adjustments on this. But I honestly don't think that the Seahawks are going to lose any more than 4 games this season. So I still expect that total 13-4 to stand. I might just adjust some of the games, maybe 1 or 2.
Sure. Do you like, because I know you got to go in like 2 minutes, but I do want to get any just kind of your last minute observations. Do you like the fact 5 primetime games, 2 Monday nights, 2 Sunday nights, and 3 back-to-back? I can't remember the last time we had that many back-to-back primetime games, but that's pretty good. I don't remember how many we've had the last couple of seasons, but 5 is nice. Right, 5
is spectacular. The more the better. The more that are at home for the Hawks and the 12s, the better. I love it. I think that plays right into Seahawks fans' hands, and I'm excited once I get off here and later on to listen to this back to hear Squabo and Steezy and their comments and their predictions, and Seahawks Martin and Rain, what all your guys' thoughts are, and of course you, Norb. So once this thing's wrapped up, I'm going to go back through to the YouTubes and listen.
All right. Any last thoughts? I know you got to go on your hot date tonight.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts before you have to take off?
I just think that this is an exciting time. This is where it starts. This is waiting for the schedule to come out is a big moment, and now we're looking forward to rookie mini camps, and the NFL's here, boys. It's here.
What is the one thing, and Brian, if you could put your finger on, what's the one thing you're most excited about, whether it be a player, a scheme, whatever? What is the one thing that, compared to previous years, this year, that you are most looking forward to seeing once they take the field?
I think it's got to be the new offensive scheme that we're going to be looking at, and coming kind of from a Rams background, and seeing how they put that into motion here in Seattle, and watching Russell Wilson have a combination of what he had last year when they were letting him cook against crappy defensive backs for the first 8 games, and then the stumbles that he hit in the second half of the season. I think they're going to find a nice little mesh. I think there's going to be more trick plays. I think they're going to incorporate the tight end. We might even see some use of the fullback. We've got 3 great wide receivers potentially now. I'm just excited for this new offense.
Excellent. Brian, thank you so much. Thanks for your patience and hanging on in here. I'm glad you were able to get your unofficial picks in before you had to leave. All right, Brian, so I know you got to go, so thanks a lot for joining, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me skip ahead in line, and good luck to you guys. Have fun tonight. See ya.
All right.
Take
Brian, have a great time. We will see Brian Abker at Abker if you want to check out his Twitter handle. That's where you can find him. All right. So let's get to the rest of the roundtable. Steezy A. Smith, Noah Boelter, Rain, Coach Marsh, who's not here, but he is here in chat spirit, and Seahawks Martin. Okay, so let's just kind of go around the horn and just when you guys got a chance to peek at the schedule, what did you guys? What was your initial thoughts? Just kind of like, wow, that schedule is really blank. Steezy, what was your reaction?
I thought it was decent, just in terms of being able to pick out, some of the opponents or look at some of the opponents that we have on the schedule. Being able to play 4 games against the AFC South, I mean, that has to be somewhat salivating. The AFC South, I think, is actually the worst division in all of football. The Jags are going to be good in the future, but it'll be a while. Texans are probably going to be the worst team in football. The Titans, they're going to regress. And then the Colts, they'll be decent, but it's going to take time for them to kind of put everything together, for them to put chemistry down. For them to gather their chemistry, for Carson Wentz to be able to lead that football team to meaningful victories and to the playoffs. And so just seeing the whole slate of the AFC South on our schedule, I thought that was somewhat salivating. Seeing the Minnesota Vikings on there, we're 3-0 against them in the last 3 years. I think we have their number. I thought the schedule was going to be a little bit tougher than what I actually ended up seeing. And so I think it's going to be a great year. I think we're going to have our best season yet. And man, I can't wait to really get into it. I
love the optimism. Let's go over to Squabo. Squabo, let's see what Squabo says. Your reaction to the schedule overall.
The football gods finally have our backs with this schedule. Are you kidding me? This schedule is so favorable for Seattle. I love this schedule for Seattle. I came out on my channel and posted a video a week ago or so talking about my predictions on the Seahawks 2021 schedule. Before we had the schedule, just going off the opponents. I have already changed. I've already recorded and I'm editing a video that I'm hopefully going to upload tomorrow talking about the new schedule predictions and what has really changed for Seattle. We'll talk about it today, but just talking about some of the most important things of the season. We have a better bye than we had last year. This year, it's week 9 as our bye, whereas last year it was much earlier on in the season. How we open the season. We open against a team that, like Steezy said, is going to be much better towards the latter end of the season. Those Indianapolis Colts are only going to get better with Carson Wentz and Frank Wright more time together and more time to build that chemistry. When you incorporate a quarterback into a new team, that is going to take some time. And so the fact that we get them week 1 is phenomenal for Seattle. At Green Bay, who we've struggled at playing at Lambeau and against Green Bay in general, and we get them after a bye, so that's a blessing. And then you look at the stretch to close the season versus Chicago, versus Detroit, at Arizona. When's the last time we ended the season with such a cupcake schedule? I am thrilled with how this played out. It changed my record prediction for Seattle heading into the season, and I can't wait to talk about it when we get into our predictions.
All right, excellent. Great points. Let's go to Rain coming from the East Coast over there. You can check out everybody. You can check out all their social media. Their social media handles are on their title keys above, and you can also check out their YouTube channels in the descriptions of this video. Rain, let's get your quick reaction of the Seattle Seahawks 2021 schedule.
Well, yeah, at first I was a little bit hesitant because I saw the Colts on there. And I'm a big fan of Michael Pittman Jr. So, he's a great player. They recently just picked up Carson Wentz. Their offensive line is way better than the Eagles' offensive line. So, I was pretty, scared at the beginning. But then I kind of dove into it. And then we played the Titans and the Vikings. So it kind of lifted myself. I'm like, okay, it should be a little bit easier on the way out. Progressing through the weeks. So, at first glance, I don't think it's going to be like that. But, when you get later into the schedule, I'm liking it right now.
All right. And last but certainly not least, let's get Seahawks Martin, your quick overall reaction to the schedule.
There's a good thing about going last because it helps you think a little more. But then there's also a problem with going last because the people in front of you get the good points first. But first off, looking at the schedule, I'm like, okay, this is not too bad. You got the AFC South, which is probably the worst division in the AFC, and like Steve said, maybe even the worst division in the entire NFL. So it was good to see that, and then but then I also know that we got to go to Green Bay. I mean, that's a toss-up game right there, because honestly, I feel like it's up to whether if Rodgers plays or not, because I think that's how our oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. That's how we're gonna win or lose. If Rodgers doesn't play, then that's a win. If Rodgers does, I feel like that's a loss. But other than that, we have a good final stretch. You have 3 pretty bad teams. You got the Bears, Lions, and Cardinals. That's a very easy final 3 games. Hopefully we can rest up there. And then the bye in the middle of the season. That's where we needed it most. We've always had it in week 4, week 5, something like that, way early in the season. That does not help us. Having it in the middle, and especially before we play Green Bay, that's a big benefit for us. So, I mean, overall, not a bad schedule. And it's probably a lot better than most of our schedules that we've had the past few years. And I also love that we're playing 3 straight primetime games, and we do very well in primetime. So that's a good thing.
All right, so let's get into the week by week breakdown, because I know we do have some more time restraints I want to get. And I know I think Steezy's got a hot date at 7 o'clock, so we want to make sure he gets out the door in time. So let's jump right into it. Let's see how are the Seahawks going to do? What's their home record going to be? What's their away record going to be? Let's find out in just a second here. So let's go to week number 1. We all know it's Seahawks against the Colts in Indianapolis. We have not been there since 2013, the Super Bowl season. Could this be a sign of things to come? Let's start with Squabo. Your take. Who wins this game? Seahawks, Colts.
So in the video that I just talked about, where I predicted Seahawks go 12-5, this was one of the losses that I had Seattle having before I knew when we were going to play them, because of the fact that it's week 1. The football scheduling gods have blessed us. It's a victory for Seattle. Seattle starts 1-0.
I love it. All right, let's go to Steezy.
Yeah, I'm not to agree with Squab here. I think that Seattle definitely wins their first game of the season in Indianapolis. As I alluded to earlier, Carson Wentz, while I do think he's going to thrive in Indy, like Squabo said earlier, that's not going to happen until towards the latter part of the season, maybe even come playoff time, if they make it that far. And so I think that with Carson Wentz being in a new system, though he does have familiarity with Frank Reich, he did have his career year with them. That was 4 years ago, and so it's going to take time to get used to his new teammates, to his new offensive line. There's going to be a whole lot of nuances, new dynamics, a lot of different things for him to get used to. And going up against that Seattle defense, who finished as the number 1 defense in all the NFL the second half of last season, I think that they're going to be in. He's going to be in for a whole lot of trouble, and I think that this could low-key be a defensive slugfest. I don't have a final score right now, but I think Seattle definitely comes in and then win a hard-fought game, maybe by a score or 2, but I think that Seattle, this definitely ends in their favor.
All right, let's go to, we already got Brian's. Let's go to Rain. What's your take on this game?
I'm going with Steezy here. I think we're going to come out, obviously, I think we're going to come out hot. Hopefully the scheme that Shane Waldron is going to put up, we can handle. And I don't think Carson Wentz is ready yet. I think he's still going to play his Eagles way. I just don't see any change in him. If anything, he is a little tad bit better. But I say we get the dub here.
All right, Rain says we go 1-0. Martin.
Yeah, we got the dub. Wentz still needs to work with his new teammates. I get that he's played with Frank Reich before, but still gotta get used to his new teammates, his new scheme, everything like that. And then we over here have Russell Wilson, so we got the dub.
All right, let's go to the chat and see. Is this Coach Marsh in there? Can Coach Marsh give us take on week number 1? Coach Marsh, put it in the chat, and then we'll put your prediction in here as well. While I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and just say Seahawks are going to come out of the chute red hot. New offensive coordinator, speed, killing. I don't believe in Carson Wentz, no matter what uniform he's wearing. Seattle starts hot, 1-0. All right, let's go to week.
You see what he said? He said Coach Marsh in the chat said that Seahawks lose week 1, slap in the face, and then go on a 9-game win streak.
Oh, seriously?
Wow.
I missed that.
So 9-1. Bill Marsh.
So Coach Marsh is already saying 0-1 to start the year. Okay, and then a 9-game winning streak. Holy cow. Okay, all right, so let's go to week 2. Week 2 features a matchup at home, the first home game. Hopefully we'll be in that game, at least a bunch of us. Let's go to Steezy. Start off, Seahawks versus Titans. What do you got?
So going off of what Coach was saying, yes, the Seahawks do typically get off to slow starts, especially at the beginning of the season. For those of you that remember, Week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals a couple of years ago, we barely were able to squeak out a victory in that game. And then the Bengals ended up having one of the worst records in football, if not the worst. And so while I think that's actually a thing of the past. You go back to Week 1 of last season, we put on a show against Atlanta. We scored 38 points on the road. And I'm not going to go as far as to say that we're going to score 30-plus points against a top-5 defense in Indiana and in Indianapolis. But I just think that with Shane Waldron at the helm, I think that he's going to run more up-tempo. I think that he's going to let Russ have a little bit more control over the offense. And I think that that's going to lead to more points scored. That's going to lead to us not having some of these slow drives that kind of thwart how we start games. And so with that being said, going up against the Tennessee Titans at home, our home opener, I think that Tennessee, like I said at the beginning of the show, I think the Tennessee Titans are taking a step back. They still have Derrick Henry, they still have Ryan Tannehill, but outside of A.J. Brown, I can't name any of the receivers or their tight ends. They added to their pass rush because they finished last in the NFL with 19 last season, but is Bud Dupree really worth 5 years, $85 million coming off a torn ACL? I don't think so. And they did add some guys in the secondary, Caleb Farley most notably in the first round, but is he going to be healthy come Week 1? There are a whole lot of question marks. I'm not sure if they improve their defense. I think their offense is going to take a step back, and therefore I see Seattle coming in. And I see them taking advantage of that defense, and I see them coming away with an easy victory here.
All right. So 2-0 start, according to Steezy. Let's go to you, Squabo.
Well, I've learned a lot of lessons out here at college, and I like what Steve's had to say a lot. Bud Dupree doesn't solve the pass rush problem for Tennessee. And one thing I've learned in college is that if I'm out of trash bags and I go to the store and I buy dish soap, I'm still out of trash bags when I get home. Believe it or not. So if the Tennessee Titans are out of pass rushers, and after the offseason, they don't go get pass rushers, they are still out of pass rushers. Tennessee is not going to come into Seattle with no pass rush and beat Seattle. That's practically a lock for me. I say it's a lock. Seattle beats Tennessee in Week 2, 2-0.
All right, I love it. Let's go to Rain.
Honestly, I'm going to think different. I think, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, the wide receivers of the Tennessee Titans, I think they're going to come out hot. I don't think Russ can really handle it as much as we think he can, but in my head, I just don't think he can handle it. So I'm going to say we take the L here. Obviously, the Titans' defense isn't the best, but I say we take the L.
All right, 1-1. It was a home loss just to welcome the fans back. Don't like that. But Seahawks Martin. Oh, let me get your mic in. There you go. Martin, what you got?
Come on, a horrible pass rush against Russell Wilson. Those things should not go together well. Russell's probably going to cook so much, he's probably going to throw for 300-plus yards, honestly. Because with that horrible Tennessee D-line that has practically no pass rush, there is no way Russell's going to get sacked like 5 times, honestly. But in typical Seahawks fashion, we're probably going to make the game close. But then, of course, that means viewers for Norb, so maybe a good thing. But we're winning the day.
All right, so 2-1. Or sorry, 2-0 according to Martin. I'm going to just start putting in the default Coach Marsh since he said we're going to go on a 9-game winning streak. That's correct, right? Squab, according to the chat, 9-game winning streak after that loss. So there's some win streak.
Just to clarify, because he did correct me in the chat, the loss in Week 1 is our wake-up call, and that's why we go on a 9-game win streak. And so that's why he says we lose Week 1.
I think he's just trying to compare it to the 2013 season because we also lost to Indianapolis in that year that we went to the Super Bowl in 2013. Okay, so Coach Marsh goes 1-1 at this point. So I'm left in this one. I think this is going to be a close game. Tennessee, as we know, they have the bowling ball, Derrick Henry in the backfield. But yeah, pass rush or no pass rush, I think this new offense of ours is not going to be predicated on having to worry about the pass rush because Wilson's going to be getting the ball out on time with the speed of these receivers crossing, like we've seen from the Rams do it so much. And I don't think it'll make a difference no matter who they got rushing the quarterback in there. It's going to be close, though, because Tennessee will slow things down. But in the end, we'll come out ahead, and we come out starting 2-0 with a home victory to welcome the fans back to Lumen Field. All right, let's go to Week 3 now. It is now another away game, and in this case, it is against the Minnesota Vikings. So let's go to Steezy. Start you off here. Second away game, what you got?
So like I said earlier, it seems like the Seahawks do have the Minnesota Vikings' number. We're 3-0 in our last 3 games against them in the last 3 seasons. But if I'm not mistaken, all those games have been played at home. And I got to pick the Seahawks to lose at some point during the season. And I just think that with the Vikings this year, I like their squad this year than I do or I like this next year's squad, this upcoming year's squad, a lot more than I do last year's. One of the biggest reasons why is the presence of Dalvin Cook, who's one of the best running backs in all the NFL when healthy. But not only that, Justin Jefferson, who had a great season for any wide receiver, really, not just for a rookie, but he had a great season last year as a rookie. I think that he's only going to stand to improve. And I think that with Minnesota, they're getting Danielle Hunter back. He didn't play at all for them last season. He's their best edge rusher, their best edge defender. And typically when we do play the Vikings, it's usually really close. So I think that this one's definitely going to come down to the wire. But unfortunately, I don't think Seattle leaves Minnesota with the victory. And this time around, they end up finally losing to the Vikings. So at this point in the season, I got the Seahawks at 2-1 through week 3.
Okay, 2-1. Let's go to Squabo. Squabo, how do we do in Minnesota in your book?
See, this is a trap game, and it's a trap game for the reason that Steezy and Coach Abker, Mr. Brian Abker, announcer Brian Abker, DJ Brian Abker,
Except not a DJ.
Except not a DJ, yeah, no. But look, they picked a loss at Minnesota for good reason. It is a trap game. We beat them every single year. Last year, we barely beat them, and we shouldn't have beat them. So naturally, the next game along this sequence is a loss. But I say we win it. I say it's a close game. I say we do win it on the road. We're just a better team than Minnesota. Their defense still has a whole lot of question marks, and I think we have a lot of answers for those question marks. So I think we win this game. It's a trap game because our next 2 games are divisional games at San Fran and versus the Los Angeles Rams, and it's right before our beginning stretch of 3 straight primetime games. So I could see us overlooking this game. I think it's a close game, but I say Seattle pulls away.
Okay, I like it. 2-1. Let's go. Brian Abker. Oh, sorry. Sereno, I was reading the wrong way. We got Steezy at 2-1. Okay, let's go to Rain. Rain, what you got?
Yeah, I think we take the dub here. Obviously, the Vikings have a lot of missing pieces on defense. And I just don't think they're ready for us, really. I know we had a close game last year, but I think that's going to be different this year. I think we take the dub. Kirk Cousins, I don't know about that. And our defense is just insane, I think.
Start as well. Let's go to Seahawks Martin. Martin, what you got?
Honestly, our run defense isn't that bad. So I think we can Dalvin Cook's still going to go off, but not as much of an impact. We still have Russell Wilson. We still have a great wide receiver core, but our defense really needs to watch out. You got Justin Jefferson, the gritty guy. You have, who else? Adam Thielen is pretty underrated. You got to be careful. The cornerbacks really have to watch out. And, Kirk Cousins, you never know. He can be a very up and down type of guy. But we really got to take advantage and got to be careful. I think we do get out of here with a dub, but on a game-winning field goal. It's going to be very close.
Okay. All right. And so for me, yes, it was close last year, but I think a lot of the reason why it was close, it didn't have to be that close. We had a horrible first half, one of the worst halves of football that Seattle's played, but we did manage to get the win at the end. I just don't believe in Kirk Cousins, never did, still don't. I think that we're going to be much more improved than what the Minnesota Vikings have done in the offseason. Close game again, but not as close as it was last time. We win this one in the fourth quarter going away. We start off 3-0, baby, to start off this 2021 season. All right. Now, I know I'm keeping an eye on the clock here. We have about 11 minutes left before Steezy has to go, and I want to make sure I get all your picks in. So we'll probably just go one more game, and then I might have to get you to do a similar Abker cut to the front of the lunch line trick and get all yours in before you go, and then we'll go through the rest of the group. All right. So let's go ahead and do week 4 now. This is the first divisional matchup now. We've got the Seahawks at the 49ers. Let's go ahead and start with Steezy and get your take on this crucial matchup to start the interdivisional rivalry. What you got, Steezy?
So as I've talked about before, I'm not as confident in that San Fran defense as I have been, or as other people usually are at this point of the year. With that being said, I think their defense takes a step back. And whether they have a Trey Lance or a Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, I think that they're at a serious disadvantage when considering the fact that we have Russell Wilson at quarterback. And that's just an advantage that we're going to have against most of the teams in the NFL. But our first divisional game, I don't see us losing this one. I think that we play the Niners pretty tough each and every single year. They're always hard-fought battles, but I just think that no matter who they start at quarterback, we're going to have the upper hand, a major advantage. I think their defense takes a step back, and I just think that with San Fran, they're going to need some time to kind of gel some of the new heads, some of the new faces that are on that roster, and so I think Seattle escapes this one with the victory.
Squabo says, what say you?
I disagree with CZ again. I think that we lose this game. San Francisco is going to be highly motivated. They might have Trey Lance in this game. It might still be Jimmy G in this game. Either way, I think we lose this game. I think it's the fact that they're finally healthy again. And in week 4, when we play them, they're going to be healthy, along with the fact that this game and the next game that we play, Thursday Night Football, is going to be versus the Rams. I know we're not talking about that yet, but my birthday is perfectly in between these two games. The first game's on the 3rd of October. The second game's on the 7th. My birthday is the 5th. And every year around my birthday, we always find a way to lose. If it's on my birthday, we win. But if it's around my birthday, we lose. And so I say we lose this game. And then I'll talk about the Rams game in a minute.
Okay, it's nice that superstition is a big part of your prediction logic, but we all have that to a certain degree. That certain things are just you can't put your finger on it. It's just a weird voodoo kind of thing that sometimes just causes things to not work out. Let's see. So I got you 3-1. Is that what we got on the record? Yes, we do. Okay, so now let's go to Rain with your prediction. 49ers, go.
I say we take the dub. I think Trey Lance is going to be starting or starts for the first quarter, and then he steps in. And I think that may be his first game. We're just fresh out the womb, so I think we're gonna get it done. I mean, there's not much you can say that they just drafted a running back, which really made no sense because they already have like 5. But I don't think the 49ers are gonna be ready. Obviously, they have pretty much the same schedule as us, but I just don't think they're gonna be ready.
Okay. All right. So Rain says we go to 3-1 with a victory over the Niners. Let's go to Martin.
I got us losing this one. That 49ers team, when it is healthy, and even though they are missing a few pieces, when they're healthy, they are scary. So, I mean, we have a disadvantage because we're playing in San Francisco, well, Santa Clara to be exact. And then, you got a healthy Nick Bosa back. I mean, Trey Lance, if he starts, he might be dangerous, and we'll be pretty new to him. We don't have too much experience playing with new guys. So I'm not very sure if we can even pull out a victory. But, yeah, we're definitely going to lose this one.
Okay, so you go 3-1. Coach Marsh says we get the 9-game winning streak, so this is number 3 of that streak. So the Seahawks go to 3-1 in his book, and I have to agree with a lot of the other guys here that Seattle does get their first loss of the year in the Bay Area. 49ers, we do know that when they are healthy, they're tough. The quarterback situation, we don't know if it's going to be Garoppolo or it's going to be Trey Lance. Either way, I think it's going to be close. But I think we do get our first loss of the year against the Niners away. So there we go. It's our first loss in all our books. And now we move to week 5. So I think I'm going to have to pick up the pace here for Mr. Steezy A. Smith, since he's going to have to run. So you ready to do an express route here and run the gauntlet and go through the entire season like Mr. Abker did?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So, let me get this set. Here you go. All right, I got to be ready for the run because you're going to be as fast as DK Metcalf running that 100-meter dash here. Okay, so let's start here. Week 5, Thursday Night Football, first primetime game, Seahawks at home against the Rams. What you got?
So I just can't envision us losing back-to-back against the Rams. Just like with all division foes, each and every single game is going to be hard-fought no matter the discrepancy in talent level. But with the Rams, I think that being that this is a primetime game, we almost never lose in primetime. And if we have to win like we did a couple years ago by way of a missed kick on the Rams' end of things, well, then so be it. I just don't see us losing this game. Again, it's primetime. We have a sour taste in our mouths, seeing as how we lost that playoff game, the wild card against the Rams. And so I think that we're going to be highly motivated, and once again, I just can't see us losing this game. And so I think that this game earlier on will be our statement victory of the season so far, or at least at this point in the season. So I see us coming over with the dub.
All right, so we go 4-1, and then we're into week 6. Another the second of that's right. Yeah, week 6.
Yeah, week 6.
Then it's Seahawks versus the Steelers after we get the game against the Rams and Sunday Night Football at Pittsburgh. What do you got?
So this is the second of 3 in a row prime time. Yet again, we don't lose in prime time. The Steelers, I like what they're doing. So far, I guess they added Najee Harris, the best running back by far in the draft. But what good is that if their quarterback is 39 years old and he's on the decline? They didn't address the offensive line, which is one of the worst in football all last season. That defense is going to take a step back. And so I don't really see too many remnants of that team that went 11-0 to start the year last year. And so with that being said, another primetime game, I think Seattle escapes with another victory here in Pittsburgh.
Okay, 5-1. And then we go to week number 7, the third of 3 in a row. The Saints at home for Seattle, Monday Night Football. What do you got?
Again, this is another primetime game, and when the brights shine the lightest, that's when we play our best. And so going off of what going off of what Brian was talking about, I'm not too much of a believer in the Saints. They don't have Drew Brees anymore at quarterback, and although a guy like Jameis Winston might elevate the ceiling of this team, depending on if he can keep his turnovers in check, I gotta wait to see how he's able to perform. Or who knows, maybe Taysom Hill's the quarterback, but I think there's too much uncertainty at quarterback for them to really have a chance at winning this football game. They have top tier talent at running back and wide receiver, and then they have some names on defense. They have quietly one of the best defenses in all of football, but I just think that they lack depth in certain areas at the skill positions on offense. And seeing as how I think we're going to field a top 10 defense, I don't see us losing this game, not against the Saints. And so chalk this up as another W for us.
All right, Seahawks move to 6-1, and then we have a second home game in a row, week 8, against the Seahawks of the South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with their number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence. What do you got in this interesting matchup that all eyes will be paying very close attention to?
So this could also be a potential trap game for us, but I just think that at the end of the day, talent-wise, we're all the way up here and the Jags are over here. No matter how generational Trevor Lawrence might be, Tim Tebow might or might not be on the roster, but who knows what kind of impact he'll have on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They do have some players that used to play for the Hawks. They have Gus Bradley. No, excuse me, Gus Bradley isn't over there anymore, but they do have some Seahawks players, Shaquille Griffin, Carlos Hyde, Philip Dorsett, and so they might be able to put up points. They might be able to at least be that scrappy team that kind of hangs on until the very end, but I just can't see Seattle losing this game. We escape with another victory.
Okay, we have the bye week in week 9, and then we go to Lambeau in week 10 to face the Packers. Big question we don't know, with or without Aaron Rodgers. With that unknown, you still got to make a decision here. So what do you say? Are we going to finally beat the Packers in Lambeau for the first time in the 21st century? What's going to happen?
Oh, most definitely. I see what Martin was saying. He was talking about how the outcome of his result of this game is heavily dependent on the availability of Aaron Rodgers. I don't see it the same way. I think whether or not they have Aaron Rodgers, I see Seattle finally coming away with the victory. Kind of in juxtaposition with what I said earlier about the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers always seem to have our number, especially in Lambeau, but I think that this time around, we finally break that. And even if Aaron Rodgers is in the lineup, Squabo talked about this, I think sometime last week, they're going to be dealing with the ramifications of this entire saga and this cloud of this Aaron Rodgers drama over the offseason. And I think with that, they're going to lose some chemistry. Some of the guys in the locker room, they might alienate Aaron Rodgers, and I just don't know how that's going to go. And so you combine that with lost chemistry. You combine that with the fact that Aaron Rodgers is another year older. You combine that with the fact that I'm not sure if this team really made the moves necessary in the offseason to take that next step forward. And if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. And so by that logic alone, I think that Seattle finally escapes Green Bay with the W.
Oh, man, I cannot wait to see that finally happen. Okay, now I know time's getting close. Are you hard out? Because you have like 1 minute to go. Do you have enough time to go through the rest of your games?
Oh, yeah, no, we can finish this.
Okay, all right. Let's do this. All right, let's go to week 11. Seahawks at home, back home against the Arizona Cardinals. What you got?
Okay, so this one was kind of tough. I do have us losing at least one time each to each of our division rivals. And I'm going to pick this game as an L. I am on the record predicting that the Cardinals are going to finish second in the NFC West, and I think that one of their victories, or at least this game, is going to show why they deserve to be second in the NFC West, as controversial as that might seem. They added a lot of talent on both sides of the football, and I just think that in this game, while we're going to field a much improved offensive line, I think that their defensive line, with Chandler Jones healthy, with the J.J. Watt in town, with some of the linebackers that they brought in the last couple of years in the draft, they're not going to have much of a secondary. And so Russ could have a field day in terms of his passing numbers, but I just think that at the end of the day, the Cardinals and that pass rush is going to be a little too much for us, and I think that Arizona comes away with the victory.
Okay. All right. Unfortunate loss there, but yeah, like you said, NFC West, tough to sweep. Then we're back into the prime time with a couple of back-to-back games. This is going to be Week 12. Seahawks at the nation's capital against the Washington football team on Monday Night Football, Week 12. What you got in this one?
This one's going to be tough. Last year, we barely won, but because of Carlos Dunlap and his game-saving heroics at the very end, well, we were able to escape with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 20-15 victory last year. This season, I'm a little higher on the football team than I am last season, and they're going to have a somewhat competent quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're going to have more talent at the skill positions. Antonio Gibson will hopefully be healthy for a full 16-game season. That defense is going to be one of the best in all of football. But despite all that, I think that this is going to be one of our more harder-fought games, harder-fought victories of the season. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be low-scoring, but at the end of the day, we're going to emerge victorious.
Okay. And then we go to the second of the two primetime games, this time the rematch at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Who do you got winning this contest?
All right. Well, like I said, I have a loss against each of our division foes, and because I had a W against the San Francisco 49ers at the beginning of the season, I got to chalk this up as an L. Again, it's going to be another close game, another hard-fought game, maybe a slugfest, but it's going to be a close one, but I think Seattle loses this one.
Okay, tough on prime time. All right, so then we go Week 14. We head to the AFC South against the struggling Houston Texans. What do you got in this matchup?
You might as well lock this one in. I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to play at all this upcoming season. And even with Deshaun Watson in tow, they filled one of the worst rosters in all of football. I just don't see them standing a chance. This might end up like Seattle and New York from Week 14 or 15 of last season, in which Seattle finally blew out an opponent. And so expect to see Russ benched in the fourth quarter, as this one's going to be a blowout. Lock this one in. This is a Seahawks dub. Easy.
All right. Easy, says Steezy. Let's go to Week 15. It's going to be Seahawks against the Rams in Los Angeles. What do you got?
It's kind of the same logic that I used for the 49ers. Because I gave us a dub against the Rams at the beginning of the season, I got to chalk this one up as an L. And while I'm not super high on Matt Stafford and that rest of that Rams roster, because they suffered a lot of turnover, especially on the defensive side of the football, they're always going to play us close. They're built to defeat a team like us. And so I just think that this is going to be another one of those close games that doesn't fall in Seattle's favor.
Okay. And then we get to the home stretch of the season where we get a couple of NFC North teams, first starting off with the Bears, the team that Russell Wilson was supposed to go to, but he's not. So we are here Week 16, Seahawks hosting the Chicago Bears. What do you got?
Well, hopefully by this point, Justin Fields will be starting. And if he is, well, that should seem appetizing to the Seahawks defense, even if he's as good as advertised, even if he's able to give this team that jolt that it's long needed. I just don't know if he's going to be enough to stop us. And because the season is going to be winning to a close with 3 games remaining, we're going to be fighting for positioning, hopefully for the first seed in the NFC. Well, I don't see Seattle letting them off the gas, and I think that this game is a must-win. Russell Wilson's going to show the Bears why they missed out on not trading for him. But I think Seattle gets away with the victory here.
Okay, and I realized I was kind of screwing up the numbers. I started putting numbers in Brian's score by accident. Am I correct that I have 10-5 for Steezy? Is that correct? I had to make some last-minute adjustments. Did I get it right? Does that sound right? I hope so.
That sounds about right, yeah.
I think I had that right. Sorry about that. I started to realize, wait a minute, why do I have like a 14-5 record? Oh, hold on a second. I'm putting in the wrong numbers. Okay, so you had the win there. So it's 10-5 with 2 games to go. I think we got that right. We'll check it. If not, again, this is the official, unofficial anyway, so not going to sweat too much. All right, but Week 17, second to last game, Seahawks at home against the Detroit Lions. What you got?
Yeah, just like the Texans, I mean, the Lions might be in the same tier as one of the worst teams in all of football. And while they're going to be somewhat scrappy under Dan Campbell at head coach, they're going to field one of the better offensive lines in football with Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow. They're going to be somewhat scrappy, but at the end of the day, that's not going to be enough to get them a W. Like I said, just talent-wise, they're very deficient. They don't have any receivers for Jared Goff to throw to, first of all. The running back room got weaker with the release of Kerryon Johnson. That defense still has a multitude of holes everywhere, and this team is definitely in the beginning stages of rebuild. There's just no way we lose this game, especially with an opportunity to enhance playoff positioning atop the NFC. Seattle, easy dub here.
Okay, last but certainly not least, we finished the season away at the Cardinals. Let's see, and you had 11-5 now going into it. So, do we finish 12-5 or 11-6? What do you got?
12-5. If I'm not mistaken, I did chalk up that first game against the Cardinals as an L, and so by virtue that this becomes a dub against the Cardinals, it's going to be another close game. I could see this one being a high-scoring affair, but I could also see this game being the game that decides the NFC West. And so with the stakes that high against a team coached by Cliff Kingsbury, there was no way that the Seahawks could absolutely lose this game, especially with the division title on the line. Go back to last season, against the Rams, and with the division on the line, well, we came out with the 20-9 victory. And so whether or not we're at home with the crown, NFC West crown on the line, hopefully at this point in the season, if it isn't already locked in, well, I just can't see us losing this game, not against a division rival, not twice in a row. And so I see us escaping Arizona with the victory and finishing the season 12-5.
So there we go. Steezy and Brian Abker both finishing with a 12-5 record. Look at that, 12-5 for the Seattle Seahawks.
I thought Brian was 13-4.
Oh, sorry. In my fixing this thing, I screwed up his record. 13-4. My bad. 13-4. Steezy 12-5. Hopefully, I got that one right. All right, there we go. So I don't want to mess up Brian's unofficial finish there. All right, Steezy, I know you got to go. Any last words before you take off? And anything about your upcoming channel videos that you got happening? Again, this is Steezy A. Smith. You can find him on social media and his link to his YouTube channel in the description. Anything you want to tell everybody about?
Yeah, real fast, I just want to thank you, Nora, for having me on. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I want to thank everybody that's been tuned in. As Squabble said, we just hit 2K subs on our channel earlier today. And if you were that 2,000 subscriber, this might be kind of hard to try to, I guess, figure out. But if you were that 2,000 subscriber, or if you feel like you were, well, comment down below on my latest video and let us know who you are. Let us know that you were that 2,000 subscriber. And then we got lots of cool stuff waiting for you. So I also did just drop a video on my channel about Tim Tebow to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and whether or not that's really just a formality. If he's really going to play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we'll find out in that video. Don't forget to tune in to everybody else's videos on here. At Squabo Says, at NorbCam, at Rain, at Seahawks Martin, Coach for Life. Definitely be sure to drop everyone a sub, leave a like, drop a comment. But man, today's just another beautiful day. So hope you guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. And that's it for me.
All right. Well, we almost got you out on time, but close enough. Thank you, Steezy A. Smith. Guys, check out his social media and his YouTube channel. Appreciate all your insight, man. Love it. All right. Well, it's time now.
Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks, Steez. All right. So now let's go back in time now here a little bit, and let's go back to where we left off with the rest of the crew. I think we had just finished week 4, and we were going into week 5, going against the Rams at home on Thursday Night Football. So let's get back to that game here, and let's go back to Squabo, where right now the Seahawks are sitting pretty with a 3-1 record, facing the Rams at home on prime time. What you got?
I'm so tempted to say that we beat the Rams twice, just like I'm tempted to say we beat the Niners twice. I think it's possible that we have like a 14-3 season, a 15-2 season potentially, but I'm not going to predict that at this stage. What I am going to say, the 2 days before my birthday and 2 days after my birthday, we're going to lose both, because the Los Angeles Rams don't care that we just lost to the Niners. They actually prefer it, and they'd love to beat us for a second time. So I say we lose this game, our first primetime game, our second divisional game, our first home divisional game. I say we lose, putting our record to 3-2.
Okay. 3-2, says Squabo. Update your score right there. Let's go to Rain. Rain, you've got the Seahawks at this point 3-1 as well. what do you have for the results of this first of 3 primetime games?
Well, like I've been saying, I mean, I'm going with Squabble here. I don't think we're ready. A lot of these games are just like wake-up calls, like Coach Marsh said. But I think once we get well into the season, and this is our first primetime game, so everyone's going to be a little bit shook, the rookies and the new players that we're bringing in. So I don't think we're ready yet. But I say next week we will, as we do play the Steelers. So I'm very excited to tell you what I got about that.
All right. So I'm sorry, I just got to get this chalked up here. So 3-2, much like Squabo. Let's go to Seahawks Martin. Are you following in the same steps as well?
I actually have us winning this time. We're really good on Thursday nights. And of course, we're playing at home. We got the home crowd. We got the 12s here. And usually the Rams aren't that great when they play. I mean, let's not talk about the wild card. But other than the wild card, regular season games, they're not great. At Lumen, I hate calling it Lumen. I mean, we got Russell. We're going to be fine. It's just going to be very tough. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a low-scoring game, but I think we're going to pull out with a very sloppy W.
Okay, so Martin has us going to 4-1. Coach Marsh on that 4th game now of the 9-game winning streak that he talked about. So we go to 4-1 in Coach Marsh's book. So in my book, like you said, we're good on Thursday night, and hopefully they win those. Aren't we undefeated in those lime greens? Aren't we? Isn't that what our magic uniform is? So hopefully they stick with that. As much as I hate the color being the dominant one because it's more of an accent color, but if it'll get us a win, they can wear bright pink as far as I'm concerned. But we get this one in a close one, 4-1. I'm with you, Martin, on us winning this in primetime, the first of 3. So we go to on the road for the second primetime game. This is in week 6 against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Let's go back up to Squabo, his 3-2 Seahawks going into Pittsburgh. What do you got?
We're going to clean up on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is not the team that they have been as of late. Pittsburgh doesn't have the pass rush that they've had. Pittsburgh doesn't have the quarterback that they've had. Pittsburgh doesn't have the offensive line that they've had. Those are 3 reasons why we're going to beat Pittsburgh. Let's not waste time on this. I say we beat Pittsburgh on Sunday night.
All right, no time wasted for sure. Let's go to Rain. Rain, what do you got?
Easy dubs. My brother's a huge Steelers fan, so we always got stuff going on. It's a huge dub for us. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger is entering his old ages. They recently just got Najee Harris. I don't think he's going to do much. They got the wide receivers, which you already know what they're going to do. They're going to catch the ball, drop it, So I honestly think we take the dub here. There's not much you can say really much about this. The Steelers defense, it's okay, and then the offensive line is not the best. So I think we take the dub here.
All right, 4-2 in Rain's book. Let's go to Seahawks Martin with a 4-1 record into Pittsburgh.
Yep, we got a win right here. The Steelers are going to Corvette their way out of Heinz Field with a loss. And the next day, I get to blast my Steelers friend, which would be very fun.
All right. Last time we played the Steelers in Pittsburgh, I predicted that we would lose, and we actually won that game. So this time around, I'm going to predict them to lose again. And actually, they have a better chance of losing, of having won the game last time, or this time than we did last time. But I'm going to say there's always that one game where you go, how the heck did we lose that one? Well, this is going to be that one. We should win this game, but I don't know, call it an East Coast thing or whatever. But I feel like one's coming that we're not expecting, and it's going to be prime time. We're going to all expect to win it like you guys think, but I think it's going to backfire on us. We lose to the Steelers on the road in Sunday night. We go to 4-2 after week 6. So we go to week 7. We are now back at home, again, prime time again against the Saints without Drew Brees. Squabo, what does this mean?
Tell them boys to take some chill and give us this dub because we're going to win this game. I believe in our ability to beat New Orleans without Drew Brees, even though last time without Drew Brees we were unsuccessful. They have one of the worst cap situations in the offseason or in the NFL, if not the worst, and they didn't add very much talent because of that. So I say New Orleans is trending in the wrong direction and Seattle's going the proper direction, which is why we beat New Orleans.
Okay, so Seattle goes to 5-2. Is that correct? Is that what my records say? 5-2? Yes, 5-2. All right, so we go to Rain, who also has the Seahawks at 4-2, heading home for this one. What do you got?
No Breeze, no problem. I say we take the dub here. Drew Brees is obviously retired. He was a big key part in the Saints organization and still is, as he's commentating, I'm pretty sure, for the NFL. So, no Breeze, no problem. Michael Thomas is going to play how he is. Like Squabbo said, they're in horrible cap trouble. So I don't know how they're going to get out of it. They made some moves earlier this offseason, but haven't made any sense.
Okay, now to Seahawks Martin, who's got a 5-1 Seahawks team hosting the Saints Monday Night Football. What do you got?
I've got a win. I'm still rolling with the wins here. I feel like the weather is going to play a big factor in this. So if it rains, if it gets really cold out there, we got an easy dub. But because Saints play in the dome, they play in a hot area, they're not used to it. So that you guys might think that's a very weird theory, but that's just my thing. And so I think we got a dub here. Obviously, the Saints are in horrible cap space. We got to take advantage of this and keep our streak rolling.
Okay, I like it. 6-1 is very nice. And that actually brings Coach Marsh in with his 9-game winning streak. He is tied with you at the 6-1 record after a slow start at 0-1. Now 6-1. Martin, you and Coach Marsh seeing things eye to eye. That brings it to me, who I've got the Seahawks 4-2 at this point. And at home, yeah, we did lose to the Saints the last time they came into town. It was kind of fluky, too many turnovers and fumbles and things like that. But I think this time we get back on the track where Seattle's done pretty well against the Saints at home, especially on prime time. I think they get back to their winning ways. And without Drew Brees, for sure, that part changes. Even though we didn't have Drew Brees last time, it's going to be different. It's just Seattle's different. It's going to be home. We're going to have a crowd this time, hopefully. And so we go to 5-2 on the season as we enter Week 8. This time against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, the much hyped. We get to see Trevor Lawrence in the flesh here at home, along with a bunch of other former Seahawks and this team that's got a revamped spirit here. How will we do? Let's go to Squabo.
For the record, I just about the New Orleans game, one last thing. I feel like it's not as much a factor that they don't have Breeze as much as it is they don't have Teddy Bridgewater in this game, because Bridgewater's the one that beats us in Seattle, not Breeze. So sure. I think that helps us. Versus Jacksonville, I say we win this game, but I say it's closer than people think. I say Jacksonville is better than people think. I say Jacksonville is going to have a really good season, and they're going to contend for the playoffs and potentially contend for that division. That's how good I think Jacksonville can be right off the bat. I can go on a whole tangent about that, but I'll just say Seattle gets it done against a lot of Seattle faces, including Shaq Griffin in the secondary.
All right, so they go to 6-2 after that game. Let's go to Rain taking the 5-2 team hosting Jacksonville. What you got?
Yep, I'm going with the dub here. I think I had in my prediction video, I actually had the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty much running over us. But now that the schedule's out, it kind of makes a difference. So I think we're gonna take the dub here. It's gonna be close. I say the game actually goes into OT. But I think we pull out the dub towards the end.
Puts in your book that puts Seattle 6-2, just like Squabo. You and Squabo seeing things pretty eye to eye here. Let's go to Seahawks Martin, who's got the best record tied with Coach Marsh and 6-1 hosting Jacksonville. What you got?
I'm a little confused on why you think that's going to go to overtime. Their coach, Urban Meyer, is a college coach. Usually college coach, besides Pete Carroll, usually don't thrive very well in the NFL. I think we get an easy win here, especially when we're at home. Okay.
And, Coach Carroll, he did make the playoffs his first year, but he was 7-9 in one of the team's worst losing records going to the playoffs, and he was 7-9 the second year. It wasn't until Russell Wilson showed up that he started the winning ways of making consecutive playoff appearances. But will that happen in Jacksonville? We'll find out. Coach Marsh said, again, we were going to go on a 9-game winning streak, so we are now up to 7 in his book. And for me, again, this is Jacksonville. They are going to be better than the previous times we played them, although we did lose to Jacksonville in Jacksonville in a very ugly time of the year back in 2017, I think it was. Pass interference, didn't get called. That was bogus. An ugly game. Crowds throwing stuff at players coming after people. It won't be like that. This is going to be I think Jacksonville's definitely improved, but I don't think improved enough, especially in this too many first-year things working against the Jacksonville Jaguars. New head coach, new quarterback, just a whole new system. Everything's trying to still get their feet wet. So Seattle comes away with a relatively easy victory. We go 7-2 after that. And then we enter the bye week. And I want to take this moment because there were a few super chats I missed. I want to announce that now. So this bye week brought to you by those people in the super chat. So I'm going to shout those out right now, way back. Chef Jack Attack with the super chat says, yes! I think that's talking about the fact that we got the stream actually going. Football Jay says, hey, Norb, how you doing? I'm doing great. Excited to be talking about this football stuff and the schedule. Anthony D with the super chat says, hey, bud, hope you have a healthy day because I'm so sick. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that right now. Plus, get those lyrics ready for the prediction music video. Add Olivia Holt, and I'll sing those parts. All right, I know you are lobbying hard for that, man. We'll see what we can do. I hope you get better, too, by the way. Chef Jack Attack says, 12-5, I got the Seahawks. Anthony D says, oh, reminded me, Norb, my $5 super chat, bud. Yeah, I got you. It just took a while. Let's see, anybody else? Did I miss any others? Looks like that was probably it. Okay, so that was the bye week. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Let's go to now week 10, and this is where we go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Will we face the Packers with Aaron Rodgers or not? Will it make a difference? Squabo, let's do it. What do you say?
When all we had were the opponents and not the dates or the times that we were going to play these guys, I said that we lose this game. But now we're coming off a bye. Now, I want you guys to think back to when you guys were the same age as guys like Rain and Seahawks Martin, these brilliant young minds. I know, it's probably difficult, but think back to when you were that age. Now, remember when you were in class and a teacher would start packing up like a couple minutes early before class was supposed to be over, and the teacher would like start putting a couple things away or start like wiping the board a little bit. And as soon as the teacher does that, now everyone in the class, even though the bell hasn't rang yet, everyone in the class starts, putting stuff in their bag and talking to their friends and doing all that stuff. But imagine if the teacher like turned around right then like, no, you guys can't get ready, just me. Well, that'd be ridiculous, right? The teacher's packing to leave, and now all the students can't pack to leave. That's what's happening in Green Bay right now. Rodgers, the teacher of the Green Bay Packers, the face of the organization, is talking about getting out the door. So now all those little students that are watching their leader prepare to leave Green Bay are now thinking like, oh, maybe I should make sure there's a way for me to get out of this contract and opt out after a year, or maybe I should leave an option for myself, make sure money is guaranteed up front so that later on I can get out of this deal. Everyone is looking to the example that Rodgers is setting. If Rodgers doesn't want to be in Green Bay, why should anyone else want to be in Green Bay? There's still a chance that they work it out, but drama is not going to help this team throughout the season. Green Bay loses to Seattle at home, and what might be one of Rodgers' final starts if he's not already out of Green Bay.
Okay, so you've got the win. Seattle goes to 7-2 after finally getting a win in Lambeau in the 2000s century. Okay, let's go to Rain. I can't wait to see that. It's been too long. Rain, let's go to you, 6-2, like Squabo. Are you going to follow suit, or do you see a different outcome here?
Well, I mean, at the beginning of when the players and the teams were actually decided, I was like, no, Green Bay's winning this. This was actually before the Aaron Rodgers drama. But as soon as the Aaron Rodgers drama happened, I'm like, oh, shoot, like, where is he going to go? What is he going to do? So kind of with Squabo here, the teacher thing, Aaron Rodgers is obviously the leader of the Green Bay Packers. Say it or not, he is. And even Devontae Adams was saying, oh, well, if he leaves, I'm going to be thinking about leaving. So I think that if Aaron Rodgers leaves, that whole team is going to be in shambles. So I say if Aaron Rodgers is there, we obviously are going to win that game. But I think if Aaron Rodgers is still there, if Aaron Rodgers isn't there, then we take the dub. But, we're going to beat him up. We're going to beat him up.
And thinking that Rodgers will not be there. All right, so we go to Martin, who's got the highest record here. Oh, wait, how come I only have 7-1? Did I miss it? Are you 8-1 right now? It should be 8-1, huh? You only have one loss for Seattle, right?
He hasn't predicted it.
Oh, that's right. That's why. Okay. Well, how come I have me at 7-2? Did I mess up there? I shouldn't have 7-2 yet. That's wrong. There we go. It's a very scientific system I have here, as you can see. Okay, Martin, let's go to you with a 7-1. No, wait, hold on a second. No, I have two losses for Seattle. Yeah,
Well,
I have two
if you
losses
do,
for
then
Seattle. That means this should be
the L.
6. There should be 6 in here. There we go. All right, back again. Seahawks Martin, 7-1 Seahawks, going into Lambeau. Do we finally get the win there?
Finally, Seattle has won in Green Bay. Trying to quote The Rock, whatever. Like I said, it all depends on if Rodgers is gonna leave, and most likely he's gonna leave. So we got to take advantage of that, and I think we will take advantage of that, especially after the bye. So we're gonna win this game. I sound a little too confident, but whatever.
You sound very confident, but you do have us at 8-1, so you're definitely confident. Period. Coach Marsh said we're going to go on that 9-game winning streak. We're now up to 8, so we go to 8-1, tying with Martin. So now it comes down to me. I have the Seattle Seahawks at 6-2. I'm going to take a different angle on this one. And if we've learned anything from Russell Wilson and learned anything from quarterback drama, and Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback drama follows those guys year after year, right? I mean, didn't we hear this drama about Aaron Rodgers when Love was drafted last year? And what did he do? He went and had an MVP campaign. Now, we had all this thing, Seattle, Russell Wilson was going to be in Chicago. He was going to Dallas. He was going to L.A. He was going to someplace other than Seattle, as far as the rest of the media is concerned. Well, we're hearing the same media people telling us the same stories, and we're buying it up, eating it up just as much as everybody else was eating up the Russell Wilson thing. So I'm going to take the opposite road. I'm thinking that somehow this thing doesn't fall apart. They come together. All that drama was a bunch of wasted breath. Aaron Rodgers stays. Devontae Adams stays. And it's Lambeau Field where we can't get a win to save our lives. And it continues into 2021. And we lose to the Packers once again, dropping Seattle to 6-3 on the season. I'm not happy to say that. I might change my mind again because this is not official until we get to the month of September when I do my official 2021 Seahawks music prediction video. But for now, I'm saying that we lose that game. All right. Hate to say it, but that's where I'm going with it at this point. We'll find out. So that's what's fun about this. We're saying this now, but we're going to look back at 4 months from now. And we're going to go, oh, look how stupid we were when we made those predictions. Or we go, man, I sure was on. Oh, like Donkey Kong. All right. So we go to, where are we here? Week 11, home against the Cardinals. Let's go to Squabo. You ready, Squabo? What are we doing here?
Well, in typical Seattle fashion, remember, I have us beating the Packers. So immediately after a huge win that we shouldn't have is when we let the foot off the gas. And that's what's going to happen against Arizona. We lose this game even though we're at home because we were just satisfied about that Packers win.
The old let up after the big win syndrome. Hate that. All right, let's go to Rain. Rain, you and Squabo have been tied at the hip here. Do you stay tied? What's the tether? What's the umbilical cord here? It stays intact?
It's either he's reading my mind or I'm reading his mind. I'm going with the same thing. I have us losing to the Cardinals twice. But yeah, it's coming off the huge couple wins that we've had. I don't think we deserve to win against the Green Bay Packers, but we did. The Cardinals obviously going to come out hot. Kyler Murray coming off a tad bit of I think it was a shoulder injury. And then they have J.J. Watt. So they're adding more pieces, and they're adding more pieces to this day. So I say we take the L here.
Okay. Seahawks Martin, you're those guys, Rain and Squabo, tied to the hip. You and Coach Marsh tied to the hip. Do you stay tied? Do we stay with a one-defeated record at this point?
I'm agreeing with them. We're definitely losing this game. Coming off an amazing win, we almost always just be like, we got the win, who cares, whatever. So, and then another thing is that we almost always lose to Arizona at home, which is really annoying. But yeah, we're losing.
No, we didn't lose last year, so it was darn close. All right, so you take a step away from Coach Marsh since he had us on a 9-game winning streak. This is the 9th win, so that comes down to me where I've got Seattle 6-3, and I'm kind of with you guys. I feel like we do struggle. against Cardinals, even though we got the win last year. I feel like it's going to catch up to us here, and it's going to be tough to sweep anybody in the NFC West. And so I have Seattle losing to the Cardinals as well, and then we go to 6-4. Not a record I'm very happy about here, and that's back-to-back losses in my book. So that brings us to Week 12, going back on the road to the nation's capital against the Washington football team. Squabo, what you got?
Fitzmagic isn't real, and because of that, we beat the Washington football team.
Oh, simple. From going to 8-3. I like that. Let's go to Rain. Rain, are you following in Squavo's footsteps again?
Well, we are at Washington, so I may be in attendance for that game, but we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, Fitzpatrick is obviously a pretty decent quarterback. He did fill in for Tua Tagovailoa, but obviously he did, and he did his Fitzmagic. That's where the train began. So I say we do win this game. I don't think Fitzmagic is really a quarterback that's going to start for you. Even though they have Heineke, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his last name. I don't think they're going to have enough firepower for him. The Washington football team is going to be scary in a couple of years, though. I'll tell you that.
Let's go to Martin. Martin, 8-2, heading into the nation's capital. What you got?
We're winning this one. I don't even know how we're even in the Monday Night Football time slot. We should be somewhere at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that it is Monday Night Football. Prime time. It is prime time.
Because this game is probably going to be an easy win. Like Squabble said, Fitzmagic probably isn't even real. Fitz is way too inconsistent. Media, whenever Fitz has a great game, oh my God, he's the greatest QB of all time, maybe even better than Mahomes. And then whenever he has a horrible game, they're just like, okay, we'll push his story under the rug. Whatever, we don't care.
All right, so 9-2, and it comes to Coach Marsh. Oh yeah, he finished the 9-game winning streak. So Coach Marsh, has he updated his prediction?
He's going 15-2 for the full on record. He didn't say anything else other than that.
Oh, he's just saying 15-2. All right, I'll just punch it in there. 15-2. Coach Marsh, we'll just dial it in now. Call it good. All right, so here I am, 6-4, heading to the nation's capital. I think every time we played Washington in Washington, I can't remember the last time we've lost in Washington, right? We've had a pretty good time over there.
Yeah.
I remember the wild card game that we played them in 2014, beat them there on a primetime game. We beat them last year, which is all the reason why I'm going to say another surprise loss gets us here. We have no business losing this game, especially on prime time, but somehow we find a way to lose.
Wow.
And we dropped 3 straight in the middle of the schedule. And this is kind of like last year where we had that ugly stretch. This is our ugly stretch. And we get to a 6-5, almost 500 record, seriously doubting ourselves. Sky's falling, but we still have a lot of football left to play. And again, this is unofficial because this is just the unofficial record until my music prediction video comes out. So we finish up the road trip and we come back home to face the Niners on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, my Niners. Okay, let's go to Squabo. Give me some good news.
There's a really good chance that we actually win both games against the Niners this year. I predicted us losing the first. We're definitely not losing both. We're going to win this game.
I like it. Squabo's getting really short and simplistic in his answers, which is very nice. Good for airtime. Okay, 9-3. We move to Squabo with a good record here heading in. Rain, what you got?
Okay. I swear I have this written down in notes that my whole prediction. I say we take the dub here. Obviously, it's pretty late in the season, so everyone's pretty much banged up, even if you're injured or not. So, obviously, yeah, I say we take the dub. It's Sunday Night Football primetime. Was it last time we played them in primetime last season? I'm pretty sure it was a primetime or it was it might have been a 4 o'clock game, but it was a little bit late over here on the East Coast. But yeah, we played them and we won. Sadly, the 49ers almost scored at the end, but that's okay. We still won.
All right. So we go 9-3 in your book. Martin, you've got us at 9-2. Can you get us to double digits? What do you say in this game?
Yep. I got us winning here. We're all very good on prime time, and not sorry, Crisostomo, but we're getting the dub.
You're going to be sorry. You will be. You will be. Actually, that's not true. We're not going to be sorry because we're going to win this game. Sunday Night Football at home. We're going to really bounce back from that crappy 3-game losing streak. We get back on our winning ways, and we go 7-5 Sunday night against the Niners at home, avenging that home loss that was on primetime 2 seasons ago that we should have won. And that's how that goes. So we go 7-5. And then we move to week 14 against the lowly Texans. Let's go to Squabo. What happens here?
Okay, the Texans still have the same record as us right now, so maybe they're not lowly just yet. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, they're going to be horrible. I think they're going to be the worst team in the league, which is exactly why this is a trap game, because it's sandwiched in between the two teams that I say beat us earlier on in the season, San Fran and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams lost to the Jets last year, so we need to be careful in this game, not to overlook them. But even if we overlook them, I still think we win the game. Seahawks advance after a victory against Houston.
You almost had me there. I typed in the win, and I said, oh, wait, he's going to double back. Oh, no, he's sticking with it. All right, 10-3 after that game. Let's go to Rain. Rain, are you going to follow? Well, you got to follow Squabble. There's no way we lose this game, right?
Yeah, there really is. I mean, Deshaun Watson or not, I mean, there's rumors that he's not going to play. So if he doesn't, I mean, we're going to win regardless. They just lost too many pieces, and they're just in too much trouble. I mean, it really makes no sense, but we take the dub.
To Martin. Martin, what's got?
With Watson or without Watson, we're getting the dub. Easy.
Okay, easy. 11-2 so far. Well, I guess you and Coach Marsh, the two optimistic ones here. All right, so that brings it to me. Again, I think following the same logic everybody else has, yes, we're going to beat the Texans. Texans are in a heap of trouble right now. Deshaun Watson, legal troubles besides his just messed up relationship with the team. About as bad as it gets. And so we get the win. We move to 8-5. And now we head into week 15 against the Rams in Los Angeles. All right, so Squabo, tell me something good.
We're going to stick it to them. Just like the 49ers policy that I have, there's no way we lose both. There's a chance, and a better chance this year than ever, that we win both. And I have us losing the first one. So this is almost a guaranteed victory for Seattle. I believe in us at Los Angeles in this game, sticking it to the Rams.
Okay, so 11-3, the record moves to. Let's go to Rain. Rain, again, you followed every move of Squabo practically, step by step. What do you do here?
Well, we are well into the season. But yeah, I say we take the dub. And obviously we lose. We lost Thursday Night Football in Week 5. But I say we take the dub here. I don't see us losing 2 games against the Rams. We hate the Rams as Seahawks fans as much as we are division rivals with the Cardinals and 49ers. I think the Rams are one of the most hated teams in the NFC West, really.
Okay, so 11-3, and that goes to Martin. Martin, what's the result of this game?
I've got us losing here, honestly. We've always dropped one and then won one with our division rivals. So this is what's going to happen. We're just going to drop one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Martin, it seems like you and I are, well, not exactly fused at the hip, but we have a few of the games that we often see in common. And just when I thought we were going to go on a big bounce back and run the table, well, we don't. We're going to lose to the Rams in Los Angeles, dropping us to 8-6, casting further doubt on this team here in Seattle land. But there's still hope, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? And thus, I don't think we sweep anybody in our division. It's too tough. It's the new black and blue of 2021, and it still sucks at this point. However, there's hope. There's hope as we go into week 16 against the Bears for 2 games at home, starting with this one. Chicago coming to town. Squabo.
Man, is this going to be the first time you've ever, in the Russell Wilson era, predicted Seattle misses the playoffs? Like, what's going on here, man? 8-6?
Don't worry, man. It's early. It's early. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. Don't worry about it. We're good. Right. Besides, it doesn't count until September.
It's when we get to the season. I just want to remember, like at a certain point, you said Seattle would be 8-6. Okay. Look. If I were to tell you, forget what team we're talking about, but a team is going to lose late in the season after an impressive victory. They're going to have a letdown game late in the season when they really shouldn't lose against a team that they shouldn't lose against, but they still find a way to choke it. And the offense struggles and the pass rush gets through. I say that sounds a little bit like Seattle, and I think that's what happens in this game against Chicago. We have a letdown game because we just had 2 back-to-back. Oh, yes, we won our division. Look at the rest of our schedule versus Chicago, versus Detroit, at Arizona. That's 3 wins. I remember saying that 2 years ago and watching us fall from the 1 seed to the wild card. Because of that, I say we lose versus Chicago late in the season.
Wow. Okay. Not good for the home crowd. Rain, what you got?
Well, I say we take the dub here. I mean, Justin Fields obviously is going to hopefully be starting by that time. I'm not sure why would they put Andy Dalton in, but hopefully Justin Fields is going to be starting by that time, getting his feet wet. Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack, the defense is awesome. The offense is going to be clicking. So, I mean, obviously, the offensive defense is going to be clicking, but I say we still take the dub here. I think that defense, our Seahawks defense is just too good for the Chicago offense.
Okay. That's a good thing to hear there. So we got Rain 12. Did I get this right? 12-3? Yes, 12-3. So we get to Martin.
This is going to be one of those, why did we lose those games? We're going to lose this one. It's going to be tough.
Man, okay. Just when I thought you were Mr. Optimistic. Not looking sunshiny down the stretch here. So 11-4 is what you got the Seahawks going to. Suddenly, record turning for the down. Well, like I said, the season isn't over yet. We're in the home stretch. But Seattle gets the ship righted right here. We take Chicago, the team that Russell Wilson was supposed to go to. Doesn't. We've had pretty good luck with Chicago playing here in Seattle, and I think they fit. Like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. This is the start of a good finish here. And so Seattle wins this game against the Bears. They get their stuff together. No more messing around. No more stupid interceptions. No more just bad luck plays. They get their luck together here. And then they jump up to 9-6. All right. So now we go to week 17. And that is we host the last game of the season for the fans. Hopefully not the last game of the whole season, but the last regular season game, hosting the Detroit Lions, week 17. Jared Goff under center, or maybe somebody else. We'll see. But, Squabo, what happens here?
What Star Wars 123 said in the chat, we are never going to lose. I love that. I think it's very accurate. But now back to the real stuff. Campbell as the head coach, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Either way, I think we beat the Detroit Lions. I think they don't have a lot going for them. I think this is one of our easiest games on the schedule, even though their trenches just got a lot more intense.
Okay, so 12-4, sitting in a pretty good spot there. Let's go to Rain, 12-3. Where are we going to go from here?
This is the automatic W. I mean, there's not much you can say. Jared Goff obviously is going to be starting, hopefully. But I mean, there's not much you can say about this. But although I think this will be a clinching, this will clinch us the division. Hopefully, like no one goes off, but hopefully this will clinch us the division, and we are going to be NFC West champions again.
NFC West champions. I like that. All right, so Rain's got us at 13-3 with one game to go. Martin at 11-4, hosting the Detroit Lions, and somebody made comments about Glory. Says, we will destroy Detroit's kneecaps. As so famously quoted by their head coach. We're going to bite off their kneecaps or whatever crazy stuff. No kneecap biting here. Martin, hopefully. What do you got?
All right, so Norb, you can just put 2 wins for the final 2 weeks for me, because we're definitely winning this one, and we're definitely winning the next week.
Okay, well, he's
90%.
just finishing up. He's just running through the finish line, cutting in line at the lunch line, throwing a flag there. But I'm cool with that. All right. Well, like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We have beaten Detroit. I can't remember the last time we've lost to Detroit at home. We got to go way back in the time machine, but I don't want to go back that far. All I know is that it's Jared Goff. We're going to beat these guys, kneecaps or no kneecaps. We go to 10-6 with one game to go. Squabo, time to finish. What is the final record for the Seattle Seahawks as we we go on the road to Arizona for the final game of the season in a tough opponent always, but we usually have luck down there. Does the luck continue, Squabo?
Well, it's like in an essay in a conclusion paragraph, right? Not only do we win this game, but this game and our final record indicates how NFL schedule makers have actually benefited Seattle heading into the season. Just looking at our opponents, I said we're going 12-5. Now that we know what order, 13-4.
Yes, I like it. 13-4 says Squabo, tied with Mr. Abker in his prediction. So now we go to and Martin for that matter, who also said 13-4. So it really comes down to Rain, you and me, which I'm already below all of you guys. I'm Mr. Rain on my parade here. How did that happen? Rain, let's go. What's the finish?
I'm leaning towards a dub, but my gut says no. I'm gonna go with the L here. I think after that division clinch, I think we're just gonna be too overhyped and like, oh yeah, we already made it, blah blah blah. But I think we take the L here. I think Kyler Murray's gonna be too much in this game. Maybe the Cardinals are gonna be in playoff trouble. Maybe they're trying to push. So I say we take the L here.
Your book, they finished 13 and did I get this right? Oops. That should be 4. Sorry, I put the wrong number in here again. So 13-4. So you, along with Squabo, Abker, and Martin, all have Seattle going 13-4, and then it comes down to me with the worst record in our whole group here. So we finished strong. We finished strong. We continue to finish strong. What? Did I mess something up?
I'm sorry. It looks like it looks to me like Martin has him going 13-5.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that should be 5 for. What? Wait, no. Oh, sorry. I haven't saved it. I didn't update it. I hadn't updated it, so I had fixed it. There you go. 13-4. I just didn't update it. Okay. Gotta refresh. Okay, so my 10-6 Seahawks will finish strong in Arizona, and I don't even think it'll be that close. I think Arizona will have sort of checked out at this point. But Seattle will finish in the way they need to, and it won't be like the last time we played in Arizona. We get the win. 11-6 is how we finish in my unofficial prediction. So there we go. There is your roundtable unofficial predictions for 2021. Squabo 13-4, Steezy 12-5, Brian 13-4, Coach Marsh 15-2, Rain 13-4, Martin 13-4, and me and Lowly 11-6. But still good enough to make the playoffs. But I do reserve the right to change all that come September, because whatever happens in Green Bay, I'm going to need to find out if this news is there's any truth to the rumors that are going around. Boy, do I hope Aaron Rodgers ends up in the AFC somewhere. That would just be delightful. So we'll find out if that's the case. So that's it. I just now want to give everybody a chance to, I didn't get a chance for you guys to talk a little bit about your own channels, what you got going, but let's do that right now. So Squab, let's start with you, man. What videos you got coming out? You did mention one earlier, but go ahead and remind people about your channel and what they can look forward to seeing from you.
Definitely be sure to go show some love to CZA Smith. He just reached 2,000 subscribers, and he dropped a video before the show about what Tim Tebow means in Jacksonville, and diving a little bit into that. But I also just dropped, after you're done with that, I also just dropped a video a couple days ago about why the Seahawks nailed the NFL draft, and a lot of people were giving Seattle bad grades for our draft, and I disagree with that. I just posted a video on why. I also just posted a video talking about every other NFC West team's grades. So if you're a Niner fan, if you're an NFL fan in general, just go check out that video grading the other teams in the NFC West NFL draft. And upcoming, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to have another video breaking down what this schedule means in depth for Seattle.
All right, sounds good. Now let's go to Rain with his. It looks like Rickson when you spell it out, but it's Rain. But his YouTube channel is also spelled the same, Rickson. Links are in the description for both everybody in here. Steezy A. Smith, Noah Boelter. Abker is just his Twitter handle, at Abker. Coach Marsh, at Coach for Life 100. And again, the channels are all in the description, so give him some love. Rain, tell everybody about what you have coming up or what you got going on right now.
Yeah, so actually my description one is actually kind of wrong, but go support the other Reigns out there. But I will post the link right there. Just copy and paste it, put it in your web browser. But before you go check out my channel, please go check out Squabbo Says, Steezy A. Smith, Brian Abker, Seahawks Martin, and Coach for Life. They all have awesome content. Squabbo Steezy just hit 2K subscribers. I know that's a big milestone. Squabbo recently just put out like 2 videos. I got a video coming out soon on the Seahawks power ranking. Oh, well, not the Seahawks power, the NFL power rankings. So that'll be coming out soon. And just be sure to tune into this channel as well. NorbCam, he's posted awesome content. Let's get Norb to, 46K now? Did you just hit 45?
No, I've been at 45. I'm hovering right about 46 right now, so I'm trying to move up to that. 50 is my next milestone, so would love to get there sometime this year. I think we will, but need your help.
We will.
All right.
Not
so,
the Seahawks
what
go
were you saying?
11 and
What were you
6.
saying about your? What was that, Squabbo?
I said not if the Seahawks go 11-6.
well, all the other teams players, all the other teams fans will be subscribing and say, "Yeah, that Norb guy, this team sucks. Let's go subscribe to him, watch him be miserable."
I am one subscriber away
You're
from
right.
subscribers, so if we can get that would be really appreciated. Just one subscriber.
Oh, post that link again. Hold on.
Wait, so were you saying, Rain? Did I put the wrong channel link?
Yeah, it's some Fortnite guy. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, give me your correct one. I'll make sure. Oh, I see. Okay, which one's you? I see, oh, you're right. There's several Rains out there. I didn't realize there's so many Rains. Anyway, all right, we'll get that worked out. Well, I'll get the correction on. Sorry, I just went with the one at the top. I was like going, I don't see any Seahawks content on this channel. That's weird. You got to send me the link, my friend. Okay, so last but certainly not least, let's go to Seahawks Martin with his YouTube channel. Go for it, man. Tell everybody what you got going on.
I did post a lot of videos talking about schedule leaks today, but I focus on school a little more. But I'm just gonna post my channel in the chat for you guys to sub. It would be very nice. But first, you gotta sub to Steezy. You hit 2K today. Gotta sub to Squabble, sub to North, sub to Rain, sub to Coach. It'd be very nice. But yeah, and I mean, you can check out my Discord. Right there. Yeah, right here.
There it is. All right. Well, and that's it. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know this is exciting everyone gets excited when you just finally get to see when and where these games are happening. If for those of you who are planning to do any trips, this is the time you start booking flights, going, "Ooh, I'm heading down to LA to check out that multi-billion-dollar stadium and all that stuff." So that will be, I'm sure a lot of people doing that, but we'll see. I'm hoping that we'll get to be in the stadium this year because I miss doing the live reactions from inside the house. So we'll see if that happens. But otherwise, I just want to say thanks to everybody for watching, and for you guys who were in the super chat. Thank you for your support, and of course, all the guests here: Steezy A. Smith, Noah Boelter, Mr. Brian Abker, Coach Bill Marsh. We missed you today. Sorry you weren't feeling well, but we'll see you on the next show. Rain and Seahawks Martin. Thank you guys for always making the time to be here, and yeah, we'll see how correct we are. It's going to be fun to compare this to the real schedule when it comes out. And I know that we might amend these things because so much is going to happen between now and September. I know for sure I will be probably making a couple tweaks here and there from this prediction. But it's so fun to look ahead and see what could be and see what actually happens. All right, you guys have a great evening. And if you want to keep watching, just click around here because I'll have some other videos that you can check out. But make sure you check out the boys. They got great content. And again, congratulations, Steezy A. Smith. 2K subscribers, man, on a roll. All right, let's get everybody up to 2K. And let's get me to 50. Let's all work together and help each other out. We would love it. All right, you guys, have a great evening. Thanks for watching, and go Hawks.
Hawks, baby.
And I think we're out. Are we out? We'll find out.
All right.
Let's make sure it's out. I'm using this different platform, which I think it's done.
Yeah, we're not out.
I love how we could see like.
Hey guys.
Oh, maybe we're not out.
Maybe we're not.
I love how we could see like
We're out now.
Coach Marsh, Steezy,